Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be painting a set of Christmas trees. The first stage is to base coat everything black, which I've already started, and I'm just using um, Crafter's acrylic decor art, and it's basically just a liquid form of paint, and you just get any old brush and you start painting. And you just want to coat everything nice and even, get into all those little nooks and crannies, make sure everything is covered really well. At least that's how I like to do it. I like to cover it really well with one good coat, because I also, not only is it like my base coat, but also um, it acts kind of like, I guess you would say, a primer in a way. Um, and it makes everything even, like all my other colors when I go on over top, more even and bright, um, which also gives it more depth, I find. Because with the way I paint ceramics, I like to layer everything. So, as you can see, we're getting into all the all the little nooks and crannies, and this is why I started it offline first, so that you're not watching me, like sit here and paint every little nook and cranny, right? I mean, that's a lot. But anywho, so yeah, so that's what we're doing first off. And then we're going to get into some color. But these paints work really well because, um, like, no, I'm not sponsored or anything by them or anything like that. It's just something that I buy and use because I enjoy it. And it does exactly what I want. And it gives good coverage. Um, they're, uh, they're very inexpensive paints. I buy them here in Canada uh, at a local retail store, which is Dollarama. Um, and the coverage on them is just, as far as I'm concerned, amazing. Some of the colors, I agree, are very um, translucent, um, whereas others are a little more opaque. Um, but the way that I like to paint my ceramics, that's the consistency that I really like, because you want one color to basically bleed into the other. So, like this underbase here is giving me um, great coverage, but it also um, it gives it body for the other paint colors that you're going to add on top, um, which helps with the shadowing and different tonage and that type of thing, which you're going to see later on as we continue to paint this item up today. So, but yeah, basically, you're doing this for shadow and to lay down a base color for all your other colors. Just so you know, too, before you get asked those questions in my comments, you don't always have to paint the item black. I personally paint 3/4 of my items black first because I just like the way it turns out after with all its own shadowing and that sort of thing. Um, well, you'll see as we go. But then there's, like, mind you, on other pieces, like if you want them to look really baby or pastel or soft, like, you're definitely not going to use black as your undertone. You may use like a darker tan or a darker version of that particular color that you're using on that item as your base color for that area or that section or even the whole item. Depends on really what you're painting. Um, yeah, so. But yeah, that's just how I like to do it. Um, so once we finish painting this all up, as you can see, um, this paint dries really, really quick. So as you're painting, previous areas are pretty much all dry. Like, and you only need one coat. You don't need two unless you're seeing little spots of stuff, but you can go back and touch them up if you like. I prefer to make sure everything's covered, all those little nooks and crannies. See, there's an angle in there, and you just brush on all the paint. And nothing special to it, just have at her. Okay. Goes fairly quickly, I find. I mean, I usually do this part when I'm watching TV or something like that, you know. It's kind of one of those no-brainers. Sometimes I'll line up 4 or 5 pieces and put a show on and take out the black paint and start painting them down. And then they're ready to go for when I want to add color. That always makes things go faster, I find. When it's all base coated, ready to go, you just go boop, 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 and done. Alright. Almost there. A little bit more. We'll have her done. So while we're talking, I'll talk a little bit about this channel, how I see I would like it to go, so you guys have an idea. So if you guys want to stick around, you can, you know, hit the like, subscribe, you know, that kind of button, if this is for you. On this channel, I'd like to show you different techniques and tricks and tips on how to paint ceramics, but also how to craft other items as well. I do a vast variety of different crafts of all sorts. I dabble in woodworking and sewing and glass etching and card making, junk journaling. Ceramics. I do play with clay, and I definitely want to show you a lot of different techniques playing with ceramics as well. So we'll have hopefully have before too long, a whole playlist on different things that you can do to your ceramics. Like, not only do you can paint them, obviously, but I mean, you can what do you call them? You can modify them too, like with clays and different things like that. So as we get going in the channel, then hopefully it won't be long before I'll have those videos up, and you can go and check them out too. So yeah, that's kind of the way I want to go with things. Hopefully you guys will stick around for all that and check it out. I do a lot of upcycling crafts as well. What people call it, junk to treasure type deal. I also take even broken ceramics and change them into new, unique, one-of-a-kind type items. I like to specialize when I do sell things and one-of-a-kind items, so when we end up with like broken bisque or whatever, then instead of throwing it out, we can look at it in a new way and transform it into something that will be one-of-a-kind, unique, beautiful home decor. It's kind of what I'm all about, really, is that one-of-a-kind, unique item. But I also do other items too, for sure. Okay. There we go. We're almost done. I swear, almost. I know, it's taking a bit. But we're We're almost there, I promise. We have 2 more spots, see? Okay. Flip that in there. Boopity boop. Oops, missed a spot. Okay. Alrighty. No, I got the top of that. Okay. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Okay. There's a little bit more on this top, and then we'll be done, and then we can start the next step. This was the basic part. This might be a real long video. I'm sorry, guys, but it is what it is, right? We're gonna do what we gotta do to get her done. Okay. So now that we got that all finished, there we go. As you can see, everything is completely blacked out. And I just gotta grab my jars of water here. Boop. There's one. There's 2. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm just going to scrape all of that paint, put it back in the bottle. That's what I also like about these bottles, is that when you're done with stuff, you can just put the excess back in there and cap her up, and she's good to go for another round. Okay, so now that part's done, you're going to get another brush. It really doesn't matter what brush. I just use a lot of what I like to call scrappy-do brushes. Nothing special, because I paint a lot. I mean, I paint daily. So, yeah, let me see here what else I got for a brush. That's pretty scrappy. Okay. Okay, so I got another brush. It's all cleaned out, washed up. And now we're going to go straight into our dark green. So this one's Hunter Green, and it's also by Decor Crafters Acrylic. Let me see if I can get that closer for you. Oh, it's blurring out. Whew, sorry guys. Move that out of the way for a minute. Anyway, that's what I'm using. Shake that up, I'll pour out a little bit here, and that's the next color we're going to go. Now, to get depth in my projects, this is how I do it. Okay, so pour some of that out. Whoop. Okay, now move that out of the way. What I have here on the side is just plain old piece of paper, like copier paper, whatever, piece of paper, junk mail, whatever. It's no good that you don't want. I leave that on the side because what I'm going to do, it's not dry brushing. It's quite similar to dry brushing, but you leave your brush a little wet. So I dip it in the paint like so. I dab it off a little bit. So I still have some, it's still wet. It's not completely dry. And then I take my ceramic piece. Now let me see if I can do this while we're on camera. And I just start painting it down. Now yeah, I'm going in all the crevices. Like so. And see how we're coming up to the edges of the snow and that? I leave a little bit. And then I just keep painting. Now we're going to paint it down. Those areas of the tree that are supposed to be green, we're going to paint that down green. Just like so. And we're going to do that all the way around until all the green is done, before we move on to the next step. Sorry, it's hard to see what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just painting it green. Nothing too special. So where I think the natural shadow is going to be, I'm going to leave a little bit of it black. And now you may have to come over a little bit more, or let's see, grab that off a little bit and bring that a little closer. Move that cap so I don't spill it, because I can see that go flying. Especially if one of the cats come in. Woo! There goes zoom, and that'll be the end of that. We'll have one big mess. Okay. Alright, we're going to come back in, and we're just going to tap that in a little bit, and then just, you know, you want it fairly dark. It doesn't have to be fully, but okay. Then you're gonna get a bigger brush. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a bigger brush. Alright. Yeah, this is just a shabby square one. Wipe that off. Get it all going here. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. So we don't want to keep you here all night now, do we? Well, I don't mind, but I mean, you might have other things to do. Okay, now again, we're just gonna get on there and paint her down. There we go, that's a little faster. But I'm not worried about all the detail just yet, because this is, like I said, this would be our first coat of color. It's not quite like the black is your base coat, so it gives you all that, the shadows and all that sort of stuff. But this is your first color. Like, I'm not going to be worried too much about it, because we're going to be adding way more color onto that as well. So we're just going to fill that in like so. Paint. You see how the paint is not fully dry? It's pretty wet, but I mean, it's not globbing that is drippy everywhere. You know what I mean? And then you just kind of come around, and you're watching those details. Like, let me show you here. See these? This is like a snow clump. So what I'm coming to is just to say there's an area left between it and the tree branch. Do you see what I mean? Like right in this area. So I'm leaving a little bit of line of black just to give it that shadowy effect. And I'm doing that all over the tree. So like when we're coming around to like a ball like that, you know, you're going to go right around it. You don't have to be too neat, because we can always go back later with the black. Like if we get some on there or whatever, we can go back with the black and trace around it. But it just makes it easier and faster if we do it just in one swoop, right? But I mean, like, I wouldn't be too worried about it if you mutz it right away, like, you know, because you can always go back and fix. It's never a problem. Like I said, it's just basically a loose color of the darker green. You're gonna do that with. Well, did I ever pick a big piece to start with, didn't I? Okay, I'm gonna face it my way, but you still get the idea. Now that I've showed you everything, you're just gonna repeat what I said all the way around the whole project until it's done, and then we'll move on to the next step. Just like so. So, in the comments, let me know what you guys like to do for a hobby, if you have any other hobbies besides painting ceramics. I'd like to hear what you guys do and go from there. Yeah, everything. I love crafting everything. Like as I was saying earlier, like um, basically crafting's my life. So alrighty. I think for video sake, what I might end up doing is just making. Well, I'd like to show you how to finish it all off too. So yeah. So if you guys want to sit here and go through all the steps with me, great. If not, you can fast forward this part, I guess. I know some people do like to sit and watch people paint, and we can chat and all that fun stuff, which is cool too. It's up to you for sure. Sorry, I have to concentrate there. I'm going around the snow pile. Boop, boop, boop. So as you can see, like painting this stuff with the acrylic is very easy. It's not as hard as people say it is. I had a lot of people tell me, it's very difficult, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. I mean, like, you just, like I said, you base coat and you go, or you don't even have to base coat. Like, you can start off, like, I mean, if you don't want to go through the extent that I'm going through, you don't have to base coat in black. You can start off with any color that you please, really, and then you can build from there. Like I said, this is just the way I prefer to do it. Because I like the end result. I like building my colors one on top of the other, and it's quite similar to painting, in-depth painting, like flat painting on wood or that type of thing. It's almost the same idea as painting picture. You start off, with your background, and then you come into your midground, and then you end with your foreground. It's kind of the same idea. You're building layers, and the more layers you build, the more depth it gives the piece, I find. I didn't learn this all on my own. I had tips and tricks from other ceramic artists, and I mean, it really elevates the work as far as I'm concerned. It just brings it to life, and it's just it's awesome to paint. Like, I'm gonna tell you, awesome. Love painting. Okay, around again. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around here in a minute and show you. It's not quite done, but I want to show you. Okay, now if I can get up nice and close without blurring out. Sorry, I don't have a very good system. We're just starting out here. But you see, right in here, along those edges in here, I'm leaving a bit of black, and that again is your automatic shadow. So I'm going to continue that on the whole thing, and then it is like, I see on here that I missed a spot and a couple of spots, but anyway, yeah. So you're gonna continue that the whole way through, and yeah. So what I think I'm gonna do for time's sake, because I mean, like, this is gonna take a little bit to cover this all, and I don't really know if you guys want to stick around that long. I enjoy the process because I like really watching it pop and come to life. But normally I would do all my green section. But for this video, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip ahead to the next section, so you guys are not getting bored. Okay, so pretend all this has is green on it, this dark green. The next step I would do is get the next color out, which is a lighter shade. So all I'm doing is picking another shade of green, just a little lighter. So you want that contrast in between. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that one out. And again, new brush. It doesn't have to be like if you can just use the same brush or whatever, but okay. So dab it, same principle, do the same thing. Now what I'm going to do with this one, let's see if I can do this on camera here, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to just tap it and add my green. So I'll just do a little bit of a section here, and then I'm going to show you again. And I'm just painting on just like so. What did I do? Oh, I did that wrong. Okay. So don't do that. I messed up. Alright, so what we're going to do... Let me try this way. Okay. It's really hard to do backwards, I'm going to tell you that. Okay, so we painted green. Let me just... Okay. Something's not looking right. Give me a sec here to figure this out. Boop, 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 boop. Trying to figure out which one. Each piece is unique, you know, and that's another reason why I wanted to come on here. Like, each piece is unique, so every time you're painting, you got to figure out, you know, how much color do you want showing, how much shadow do you want showing, how much light you want showing, you know, these type of things. And the only way to really figure that out is by piece. Each one is unique to itself. So, like, for example, this is really good because I messed up. Okay, you see how, okay, this is backwards to me now. Woo-hoo. Okay, you see how I did this and it's so solid, it just looks fake. But if you're coming to this more on, here, if I can bring it closer maybe. See how I did this too solid? It just looks fake and it looks funny. Now, but when you're coming over to here, I'm just touching it here and there, and now it's showing a lot more depth. So you're going to leave it, so you're just kind of hitting it on the edge, and you got to play around with it to make it see how much you know, what you like and what you dislike. Like this way here, I find it too much. So to correct that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I don't need to clean my brush or anything, I just blot it off on the paper so it's dry. So there's hardly any paper color coming off of that. And I'm just going to dip back into the green, and I'm just going to go right back over that. You're not going to see it in the end result because we're just going to fix it, that's all. So I'm just going to boop, boop, boop that back in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now blot that off. take my light green, come back over it. Let's see if I can do it this way so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now I'm coming in and I'm just tapping it off and just coming in just like that. Just, just to say we're getting some on there. And you can keep going over it little by little and just adding more paint. Just to the bright intensity that you want. You see how the depth is? It's slowly built. And then I'll do the same over here on that part that I just repainted. It's pretty much dry now because, like I said, acrylics dry really, 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 really fast. So on this channel, I'm going to show you the mistakes and stuff. So, like this way, like I'm only human, so I'm going to make mistakes too. I'm not perfect at it, and I make mistakes depending on the piece. So I'm going to show you that, and if it happens, and then I'll show you how to correct it. See, now you got some. See how you corrected that again? You got your, and now it looks all the same, which looks wonderful. So we're just going to keep doing exactly that. Come up here. Now notice on this level, I didn't touch underneath. I'm just touching the edge. Because you don't want to touch underneath. You want that to automatically kind of shadow itself. Now, so when I put it, so you can see it. So you see this versus this. See the different tones in it? And that's how you're going to build your layers. So I'm just going to like this part. So like say you're just fluffing that on there. You see how it's starting to come to life? It's not flat, it's not bleh, just it kind of pops out at you. So that's kind of what we're trying to achieve here. Now, the next step we're going to do, so what you're going to do is you're going to move on to the next color. Once you finish, so let's recap. You paint all black, then you paint your dark green first on all your tree branches, on everything. Then the next step after that is you're going to come in with your lighter green and you're going to do that whole thing as well. Now, to go faster here, what we're going to do is, now the next color you're going to do, just so you, is your, after this you're going to put in your highlights. So, how am I going to do that? So, yeah, so I use yellow for my highlights, or you can use lighter green, whatever, but either way you want to come up one more color lighter than this, what you already have, and that's going to give it one more section of depth. That's basically the process of how to do this. Now and then you do that with each section, so when you get to the snow, you're going to base coat it in your grays or whatever color you choose, and then you're going to come up with your whites or your two colors and then your white, and then same with your Christmas ball. You're going to pick your colors out for your Christmas balls, and then you're going to do the exact same thing as what you're doing with this with each color. And that's basically how you paint your whole ceramic. Now for those of you that want to stick around, I'm going to go back to, because I do want to finish this whole project on here with you. So for those of you that want to stick around and watch me paint, and we could chitty chat, this part's for you. Okay, so I'm going to go back to painting everything in the dark green, because the transformation of these things are absolutely beautiful when they're done. I don't think I have anything right handy to show you, but yeah, so yeah, we're gonna go back to, we'll paint that dark green again, get all that coated. I'm trying to go as quick as I can, but you can only just paint so fast, buddy. Boop, 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 boop. I have to admit, this is harder than I thought, you know, coming on here. Like, I thought this was going to be a breeze. You come on here and, you know, you have 1,001 things planned to say, but it's weird because when you get on here, you kind of run out of things to say or forget to say what you were going to say in the first place. Hopefully I'll get better at this as we go. I don't know. I'm hoping. Hopefully you guys are patient enough to stick around, dude. I do have tons of things that I want to show you and teach you and stuff like that. Just what do you talk about? Forewarning. I am, you know, I'm a painter, and I'm gonna warn you, I do smoke while I paint. So if you see that, ignore it. That's not what you're here for. Unfortunately, I've been smoking for years, so it's a bad habit that I will eventually quit, hopefully. But right now, we're not. So yeah, moving on. Alrighty, now we got that done. Okay, we're gonna continue painting this off. Boop, 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 boop. I should also give you warning too. Before that happens, I have quite a few cats, so, and they like to come visit while I paint and craft in my craft room here. So you're going to see them time and time again on here. I do have quite a few, so don't be surprised if, like, today you see one black cat, and then tomorrow you see a black and white cat, and then you see an orange cat, and then you see, you know, yeah, that's normal. I have quite a few of them. 6 cats, in fact. And I have a dog that comes and visits too, so they're my crafting buddies. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Boop, 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 boop. As you can see, for brushes, you don't really need anything special. Like, I use nylon, Taklon. That's what I prefer. You can use hog brushes. You can use all different kinds of brushes. You can use your regular acrylic brushes. But just note, ceramics, because you're rubbing against ceramics, it tends to chew your brushes. Like, that's pretty much why these are all chewed up. So you go through a lot of brushes when painting, and for those that are already painting ceramics, you already know it chews it, like, especially when you're dry brushing or stuff like that. This chews it too, but not quite as bad because there's not as much friction, right? Like, whereas the dry brush is dry, this is kind of, I wouldn't say dry, but I wouldn't say wet either. It's kind of like somewhere in between. It's kind of, you got a little bit, you know. Um, you got enough to cover so that you're not dry brushing to death, you know, because that takes like forever, and I just don't have time for that with the amount of stuff that I paint on a regular basis. Like, if you know me personally, then you know I paint a lot. So I had to find a way to paint the items a little quicker, but not, you know, yeah. But I still want them to look really good, you know. Like, that's the trick here. You want them to look really good and really nice and professionally done, and you know, that type of thing. So that's where I'm at with that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I'm just looking at it to see where I missed or whatever. And again, like when you're putting on your green color, you can intensify the color as much as you want. Like, if it's not dark enough for you or bright enough for you or whatever, then just apply a little bit more paint. That's all, you know. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's really not that difficult. Once you get these basics done, learning how to do the basics, then when you're getting into the techniques, that's where a lot of the fun comes in. You know, you're altering things just slightly. Okay. Alrighty. Almost done this side's green, and then we can turn it around and we'll do the other side. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I got that side done. And dark green, double check. Just a spot. A little darker because I hit that. Okay. So there's that side. So there, and there, and there. There. So that side's good. Now, let's go the other side. Start again and keep a painting, keep a trucking. Alrighty. I got just a little bit more here. Not that fast a painter. I'm a quick painter, but I'm not too fast. I wish I can go poop and done, but it don't work that way. That's the joys of painting, right? If you're anything like me and you love painting, that's the joy of it. You're watching different things that you do come to life, and when you're done, it's all sparkly shiny and pretty, and yeah. Okay. Funny, I'm usually a talking mouth until I get on here, and then all of a sudden it's like, duh. What are you talking about? Again, we're having that conversation. don't know if I should plan this out better or what. Kind of didn't plan this. I just decided, you know what? I'm going to paint this, and I'm going to go online. I'm going to show other people how to paint this, because like I looked up, you know, not because I don't know how to paint or anything. It's just I looked up to see how other artists paint ceramics and ceramic bisque, and you know what? I didn't find anything online. Nothing came up for me anyway. I don't know if I typed it in wrong or what, you know, because I do enjoy sitting and while I'm crafting or creating or whatever. I do like watching other artists online paint. I find it very relaxing, and trust me, they got this stuff mastered. They can talk, and they don't run out of things to say. And but again, like I said, I'm new. They've been at this for a while, because I've been watching them like forever, it seems, and they're good at it. And I learned so much from other artists on here. Like, wow. And I can only hope that you guys learn stuff from me too. You know, and that's kind of what pushed me to do this video, was like, you know, like I want other people to be able to create like I do. It's great therapy. I mean, you know, especially like if you're not feeling well all the time, or you know, you got health issues or whatever, and you can't go to plenty places or do a lot of things. Painting is great therapy. I mean, when you're creating things and doing things, you know, it keeps you busy and keeps you, you know, positive, and you know, that type of thing. Like I just love to paint. I get lost in it. I get lost in watching other artists as well. You know, as their creations come to life, you're just like, wow. I wish I could do that someday, you know. And there's a few that I watch and in hopes to be able to create things like they do. Like, wow. Some of them are, whoops, they're so mind-blowing. Yeah, I should mention, these bottles do have the option of, like, you can, if you're not like me, and you keep the cap inside clean, then you can just go boop and push it out. But I have a bad habit, and I'll be very honest. I tend to just pour it in a cap and paint from the cap, but I figure because I'm coming on here, I better put it on a palette. That's what I watch everybody else do, but on my own time, honestly, I just use a cap. I'm getting better with it though. I got an old Tupperware container lid, and we're trying new things. That's really hard to remember to do because I've never really done it. I've always been a cap type person, and when gets all too gummy or whatever, then I clean it out and start again. Really shouldn't do that, but anyway, I do it anyway. Like I said, I'm not really a professional painter. Never went to school for that sort of stuff. I'm pretty much self-taught, just by watching others or picking up new tricks here and there and experimenting. I've experimented a ton, especially with these type of paints. Love them. Do tons of stuff with them. Like, not only are they for ceramic, but they're like basically an all-purpose acrylic. So you can paint on canvas, you can paint on wood, you can paint on ceramic, glass, metal. They pretty much go. You can pretty much paint anything with them things. It bonds really, really well. Really, really well. Sometimes you need a primer underneath things, but most items you don't. You just go to town. And I think that's what I love most about them. Once the first layer dries and gears, you just keep adding layer of other paints on top, and it just goes. Okay, not quite there yet. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there. Okay. Green. Just trying to think the next video what we want to teach ya. I think I'm not sure. Well, I'll come back and see. No, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with showing you guys how to paint ceramics because I think that's a big need right now. Like, I mean, a lot of people think you have to be in a studio to do it, and it's nice. I mean, like, if you can go to one, great. I couldn't, so I just order in pieces from well, I was buying them from local ceramic artists where they pour them in these big huge molds, and then they take them out, they clean them, and then they fire them into the bisque, which is what I purchased from them. And I go in there in their shops and check their stuff out and pick up their stuff. There's a lot of places online that you can order ceramic bisque from, and if you're a ceramic artist, well, you obviously have bisque, so you know. But I mean, in a ceramic shop is a little different because they have glazes and stuff like that they fire in the kiln. Doing it this way, I don't have to because I don't have access to that, and I wanted people that don't have access to like the kennel and stuff like that to be able to paint ceramics as well. I mean, it's a great pastime. It makes beautiful home decor. It makes great gifts. I wouldn't say it's a cheap pastime, but I mean, it's a fair price pastime. You know, and you can pick up these pieces here and there, and you know, but this way it gives you an option of being able to paint at home, whereas most people think that they were limited to having to just paint with glazes and specialty paints that need to be fired, and you really don't anymore. I mean, the industry's changed so much that you can use like these liquidized acrylics, and they paint so quickly, you know, and you get beautiful results, you know, and you can do it from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go back and get the item refired or anything like that. You don't have to worry about all these long drying times. Like, I don't really know too much about painting ceramics with the glazes and that because I never really did it and I never really got into it. I got into ceramics and painting them pretty much from the get-go with acrylics. Growing up, my grandmother, she used to paint ceramics with acrylics, and then she seals them to give it that nice shine with a. Well, back then, she was using Mod Podge to seal all of her items. As as I got older and I started doing it myself, I seal all my items with polyurethane. It's I'm just trying to move my ribbon here. Yeah, here we go. It's Varathane. It says diamond wood finish. But this stuff goes not only on wood. It can glaze. It's a sealant, and it's basically a very slim liquefied plastic coating, if you will. And this makes your item able to go outside as well. It's it's the ultimate protection. It's non-yellowing, so your whites stay white. Um, Outstanding UV and weather resistant. So it's the ultimate protection. Now, the reason why, I should explain this, because you're probably wondering, why do you have a ribbon wrapped around your can? Well, it's a trick. So, by tying a ribbon on my can, but you see it goes under the lid, it goes right across. So, when I am sealing my item, I take the brush and I can just dip it in and wipe it on that, so that it doesn't gunk up the rim, so I can close the can again. That's all that ribbon's for. Just so you know. But yeah, no, I use that to seal it, and it makes that nice shiny coat finish on it, and it makes it weather resistant. If you want to put like a knickknack on your porch or somewhere outside to decorate your outdoors, I mean, it gives a wide range for your ceramics. Like, your ceramics don't always have to be a decorative item for indoors. It could be like one of those cute little guys that you shove in your flower bed, or decorate an area on your porch, like I was saying, or a sitting area, or something like that. Like, you can decorate your outside just like you decorate your inside. You know, it's just an extended. It's basically an extension of your home. You know, you have both decorated. Um, and this way, this gives you that opportunity, you know, and you get that also nice shiny finish on there. I'm going to warn you, it's not as glossy as what you would get with firing it back in a kiln with glazes. I mean, it does not get that shiny. Like your mugs and stuff like that, there's a big difference there, you know. Like, if you want that high hyper gloss, you know, protection, you know, that type of thing, and food grade, then you're going to want to go and do it that way. But here on my channel, I'm showing you how to do it without that. And still get beautiful home decor pieces, more convenient to you. It's kind of a DIY yourself thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was talking and I didn't get. Stop painting. My bad. Okay. Let me check this out a little bit here. Missing some spots. Okay. A little bit more green showing. Not that in there. Like I said before, there's no way of putting it on. You're just kind of brush stroking it on whichever way you want, just as long as you get some coverage, you know, as much or as little as you want. But as you see, I'm leaving. How can I put that? Hey, maybe. Can you see it that way? You see how I'm leaving black? No, here. Some black areas. You don't have to paint all in that, because that's going to be like your shadow underneath. You're not really going to see that anyways, because when you put it up this way, you're not seeing it at all. But yet, if somebody moves it, they're going to see that shadow once. So I'm just touching the edge. I'm not going fully. Like, that's why I said, when you paint everything with your first coat of black, whatever you don't get with color is just going to be a shadow. It's going to be an automatic shadow for you. And it's just going to amp it up, you know, make it look good. That's why I said it's really, really important to base coat that really well with your black first. After that, you're golden. Everything else is just basically fluffing and accenting on. It goes fairly quick after you get the first two coats on. Like, once you get your black on and your green, your first major coat anyways, and then after that you'll see how fast this goes. This is your longest point. I'm sorry, I'm a slow painter. We're almost there. Almost there, I promise. I can't wait to show you this is done. Oh man, it's gonna look so pretty when it's done. I forgot to do this area when I was painting on this side. My bad. Just noticed that when I moved it. Okay. There's another spot right there. Alright. I got them on. Yeah. Okay. Spot there. It's got there. Sorry. Alrighty. Almost there. Almost, just a little bit more. Hopefully you guys got something out and you're painting with me. Like, hopefully you guys, when you saw the thumbnail or the beginning of this, hopefully you guys took out a Christmas tree to paint too. So you're not just sitting there going, alright, we're watching her paint. Hopefully you guys have gotten some kind of a tree or even maybe even the same piece if you're a ceramic artist. I think this one's an old Atlantic, I think, piece. I'm not quite sure. Don't hold me to that. But you can do this even with the big, you know, the big jumbo ceramic Christmas trees there. Those are gorgeous trees. I've done a couple of those in the past too. I have a few ideas for some new ones though. Liven them up, but when you get to that, you'll see the video on that too. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I'm not sure. If not, I'll mention it again. I just scrape it back off and put it back on. Yep, it may turn clunky, but I mean, this paint is so cheap that if it turns clumpy, you use it for something else. And you just buy another bottle. I forget how much they are now. But I buy mine at my local Dollarama, so it's like a couple of bucks. Alright, now I am going to rinse that brush off. My water over here. Dry that off. And we're going to start the lighter green. Now this one, remember, we want to dip in, blot off on the paper. So we don't have too much. Wow, I took too much there. Okay. I kind of get a feel for what it is. It's like, it's not dry, but it's not draggy either. You know how you drag your paint and it's kind of on the dry brushy side? You don't want that. You want it a little more wet, but you don't want it like what I first started, like really soupy. Just so that you can, you know, I'm just going to hit it here and there, you know, just to bring out some depth, and you know, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just gliding the brush across and giving it some depth, adding that extra color on there. I'm not going solid. You're kind of streaky, and the reason why you're streaky is so that that undercolor can come through. Okay, go that way. Get some. Actually, I could have used just that on there. Anyway, okay. And you do that till all your little branches are covered the way you want them to look. Sometimes I go back over it just to brighten that color a little bit more. So if you see me going back and forth, that's why. I'm just kind of brightening it, because acrylics again, dry darker. Like they go on bright and then they dry darker, so sometimes you gotta go over it a couple of times so that you get the look you want, really. So I'm just kind of... And here's where the fun's starting, because like you're just zooming across everything. Sorry guys, I gotta see what I'm doing. But you guys got the idea of what I'm doing anyway, so yeah. Okay. And just kind of tapping and swiping and tapping and swiping, and that's kind of how you're getting it on there. And you're just kind of, same time, you're just kind of roughly outlining your tree bristles, you know, just a little bit. Okay, I think I got all that. Touch the edges maybe just a little bit. Once you get to this stage, it's like sweet sailing from here. I'll show you in a sec here. We're almost. See, that didn't take too long to do that one side, right? Like, still have this side to do, but it doesn't take long. Once you get to this stage, it's like zoom, zoom, zoom. This is my favorite part. I think this is what gets me addicted to ceramics, I'll tell you. When you start to get to the zoomy part, ooh, it's starting to come alive, and the colors are starting to pop, and it's starting to look like a tree. Not that this is just green blob, green and black blob, I should say. Loving it. Loving it. Okay. Actually, I want to give a shout out and thank everybody for, you know, joining me and coming to watch me do this, especially family and friends, you know, and all you new people coming. I think that's wonderful. Thanks for giving me a chance. Like I said, hopefully I'll get better at this. It's weird. I have to admit, like it's strange sitting here talking to a screen. Like I know you guys are all out there, and that's awesome. It's just like when you're sitting here by yourself and you're having a conversation, it's like a one-way conversation, really. Because you got nobody answering you back. So it's not like you can ask a question and go, oh, okay, you know, and somebody, you know, answer you back. So that part's kind of weird for me, but, I mean, okay. I guess, you know, like in the future, I'll probably get, you know, hopefully I'll get some questions and that, and then I can answer them for you, or maybe I'll do it live, and then it won't be so weird. I don't know. I don't even know if I can do it live. I mean, that'd be something too, right? I have to admit, my hat's off to all you people on here. Like, I mean, you guys, like, that do YouTube videos. I mean, you guys are so confident, and you're just like, da 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 da, and you guys sound so professional and everything, and I sound like a dork. You know? I honestly have to admit that. Like, wow. Okay. There. Okay, another. I'm gonna warn you, like, if if you've already painted ceramics before, or if you've painted at all before, you know it's a process. It's not gonna happen in like 2 seconds. It's time consuming. So yeah, sorry about all the quietness in the air, but I'm really not sure what to talk about. So maybe, yeah, you can mention in the comments what we should talk about while we're doing these videos. Because like I said, the project's pretty much basic. You're just, yeah, like I can talk about the process, but I mean, there's just so much you can talk about it, right? There's more painting than there is talking. Or explaining, I should say. Alrighty. Let me know in the comments if you got a tree that you're working on too, and if you get them done, you know, it would be fun to see how you guys has turned out. I think I like that. Alright. Okay, we're almost done this color. We're almost done the color. A little bit more. Okay. Okay, so here's a fun question that you guys can leave me an answer in the comments. So, you gotta tell me where you're from, and what made you decide to get into ceramics, and how long have you been doing ceramics? And my answers to those, I've always been interested in ceramics since I was a child. I'm climbing up to 50 real quick, and I've always had fascination with it. So I got into ceramics when I was really young. I got into painting ceramics full time over the last, I would say the last 15 years, I guess. Maybe a little longer, but not much. I'd say about, it's safe to say about maybe 17 years I've been painting ceramics now, like steady. I was painting ceramics earlier on. Like when I started painting ceramics, I guess I would have been about, I don't know, I think we started around 8. So I mean, it's been tons of years. Ooh, I'm aging myself. Ooh, I don't like that idea. Okay, anyways, moving on. Don't want to go there. But yeah, tell me in the comments. What got you into ceramics? What do you like about ceramics? How long you been in them for, or interested even? Alright. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so both sides. I don't know if you can see that very well, but both sides we got the tips of the green. I think that shows it better. That's really hard to see on there. I'm surprised. Okay. Anyways, so now you got your black, your 2 colors of green, and you're good to go. Okay, now before we keep going, I'm going to scoop that green back in its bottle so there's no waste, or less waste I should say. And then we'll get going on to the next stage. This one's fast. Now when I'm scooping up, I'm keeping some on there, and there's a reason for that. I'll show ya. See, I scraped most of it off, right? But there's still some on there, and there's still some in my brush, which I'm going to use to my advantage on the next section, which is, and no, you won't be able to put this back in the bottle, just so you know. So my go-to, because I like a very high contrast in colors. I mix a bit of bright, this one's bright yellow, yeah, a bit of bright yellow in that, and you don't need very much, like really you don't. Like I have about a dime size, maybe a little bigger, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix that into the green that's already there. So essentially what this is doing is making the same grade green but a little brighter. This way I'm not losing, like by using white, I find it dulls the color a bit, but by using the yellow, that bright pigment, see the color it makes? I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Blurry up, but you see it just brightens it just a little bit, enough that it gives me that contrast. Now because I have a lot of paint loaded in that brush, in fact way too much, I'm going to actually take a paper towel and wipe some of that off, because that's way too much that I want. Because I wiped some on the paper, I'm just gonna go into that and get it to that wetness I want. Okay, now here where it gets quick and fun. So what you're going to do with this color, this is your highlight. So this is the highest color that you're going to use on these trees. So you want to basically hit them where the sun's going to hit them. So you're going to sun kiss them basically. So you're just going to go up and down and you're just going to give it some highlight. That's it. You're not painting the whole thing like you did the greens. You're just going to basically sun kiss it. So I'm going to turn this around. You see I'm not putting very much. That is so really hard to see. Wow. And I have really good, I thought I had really good lighting in here. Whew. I can't even bring it closer. Huh. Maybe further away. Hopefully you're getting the idea. Like even though you're not seeing that contrast here in person, it is so bright. Like it's, yeah, that's weird that you don't see it online, but anyways, I'm just basically sun kissing it. There we go. But everywhere that you think the sun's going to hit that, you're just going to put that. So you're not even doing the full. See, like I didn't even go to that far. I'm only doing the tips. You know, so you're basically sun kissing the whole thing. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then I'll show you when I'm done. And hopefully you'll be able to see it. Because, wow, I thought you could see better on there. And honestly, I'm sorry I don't know how to fix that so that you can see the contrast. But if you're painting along with me and you're following my instructions, you're going to really vividly see it in person, and it won't be beautiful. It could be way beautiful. Because that's when the spark of life comes really into these pieces. It's okay if it darkens as it dries, because you want it to fade back. Like when you put yellow, like that bright lime yellow green on there, you want it to kind of fade back. The reason why I chose that bright lime is because I know acrylics dry darker, so by putting it brighter when it dries, um, then it'll be the right color, the right tone. That's what I'm thinking of, tone. It'll end it with the being the right tone of what I'm looking for. But again, that's gonna change for everybody's color palette. Like, I mean, basically what you want is a dark, a medium, and a light color. That's what you're shooting for. So when you pick out your colors, that doesn't have to be the exact same colors as mine, is what I'm trying to say. So as long as you have a dark, a medium, and a light, you're going to have the same effect as me. So just remember that. I personally like this combo. That's why I use it. But I mean, like, everybody else has different combos. Like, you may want a lighter tree or a darker tree, or you may even want I don't know, like, you know, the spruce colored trees. So you're gonna want them more with the what do you call that color? Like a dark green, and then come in with a teal, or that type of color. Instead of the limes, you're gonna want to go with the blues, and that's gonna give you a whole different look in a tree. Actually, I might have to do that one day to show you. But yeah, change up your color palette, and it'll change up what your tree's really gonna look like when you're done. But essentially, all you need is a dark, medium, and a light. Okay. If I stopped talking, I probably would have been done this part by now. Because truly, it does go quick. Like, it really does. Once you get to this stage, because you're just like, fluffing. You're fluffing that on there, and sun kissing it everywhere. There we go. Yeah. Something. There we go. Okay. I got it. Yep. Okay. Okay. No, I didn't do this side. Okay, now I'll just quickly do this side, and then we can move on. Give me a second, folks. I'm just gonna zip through this. Doop, 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 doop. Like I said, this is the fast part. Okay. Okay. We're almost there. One tree done. Right? Yep. A little bit more on this side, because I missed some on this tree. just about do it. Oh, missed the spot. Whoop, 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 whoop. Get all my tips. Yep. Alright. Okay, so there you go. There's that part of it. Ta-da! Both sides done. Okay, now with that, we're gonna brush it. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, now we're gonna do the snow. I'm just washing that brush out. I'm gonna probably need a smaller brush, I think, just to get into all these little areas. Actually, before we do the snow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our black back out. And because you all know I paint out of a cap, I'm just gonna do that for now. Okay, so dip in the black, and what I'm gonna go do is, you see, we kind of got little green everywhere, and I got green on my snow here and everywhere. So I'm gonna go back now with the black, and I want to clean that up so that it doesn't affect my next colors. So I'm just gonna quickly go through, touch up all that green that I smooched everywhere. Blot off. Just so I can redefine those lines. It makes all the difference when you clean, if you clean up your work in between each stage, like between each color, I should say, not stage, color. So after you do all your green, like, it's fine to do everything with your green, because that's one, I consider that one color. And then you'll go in and you'll clean all that up. I had to concentrate just this tiny spot there. The reason why I blot off on here is because I don't like big globs of paint, and I want my paint to go on nice, smooth, even, and no clumps. And this way, when it does, you put a very light coat, what it ends up doing, it dries quicker. So there's less waiting time in there. Mind you, if you put too much paint on or whatever, you can always brush off and blot off then. But I mean, or if you find that you have to wait for your paint to dry, you can always use a hairdryer and dry in between coats of paint or whatever. That helps, and it goes very quickly. I usually have a hairdryer in here while I'm painting, but tonight I didn't bring it. Again, right now it's my first video, so yeah, we're kind of trying to iron out the kinks here. Alright, almost done. Oh, there's Kitty Kitty. That one is Panda. She's come in here. Hi, Panda. She's coming in here for a visit. I don't know if she'll get on cam, but right now she's in here for a visit. Okay, I think I got all that cleaned. Okay, now we'll go on the other side and do the same. Just clean up all that extra green. And my what's soon to be snow and Christmas bows. Hey Panda, what you doing? Oh, you might get to see her yet. She's coming closer. What you doing, Pet? Watch, there's water there, honey. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. There we go. She's trying to get close. There's no room, baby. Just let me. Oh, sorry. This is Panda. Her nickname's Brat. As you can see, she has to be center of attention. Or she does stuff like that. I'm sorry. But that was Panda. That is one of my fur babies, as we call them. Okay. I'm just grateful she didn't knock the water or the paint flying or whatever, what have you. And I'm surprised she didn't even knock that camera too bad. Okay. Okay, that's all pretty much cleaned up too. Okay. Alright. Just looking it over. Okay, so that part's done. Oh, no, missed a spot. Boop, boop, boop. And another boop, boop there. And a boop, boop here. Here, boop, there, boop. There, boop, boop. Alright, there we go. All done. Okay, now I'm gonna wash that brush off because that's the brush I do want. And wipe on a paper towel. And we're gonna do gray. Oh. Put a little gray. Oh. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did with the trees in the first layer of green. We're just going to blot that on, nothing special, nothing whatever. We're just going to blot that on, get the color on, leaving a little bit of black showing. That's pretty much what you're going to do. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that sealer in the can here is a brush on. You can get it in a spray as well, but I don't. I find it goes further. Like, it depends on how much ceramics you're doing. Like, if you're doing a lot of them like I do, this to me is your cheaper bet because it goes a lot further. You're brushing it on. You're not spraying it everywhere, you know. Time wise, it'd probably be way faster with the spray cans, or rattle can or whatever you want to call it. Me personally, I like the brush on. It's very cost efficient. Like, I can get tons and tons and tons and tons of projects out of one can. So, and I use it for such a variety of things that, to me, that's the cheapest way to go. Not that I'm being sponsored or anything by anybody, but that's just my personal preference. You use what you use, right? Okay. Now, just going in, and we're just gonna basically sloppy painting. Like, that's kind of what I call it. Whee, sloppy painting it on. Probably could have went with a little bigger brush, I think. But, oh well. I think what I'm going to do is switch between brushes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little bigger one because that's taking like forever. And like I said, I'm not using any fancy brushes. Like, I really am not. I'm using like old beat up brushes that I always have because, like I said, it's the ceramic's going to chew up your brushes anyways. So, and you don't really need to be precise with it. So, you don't need nothing fancy. When you get into fine detail, that's when you need a good brush. Like when you're getting into like when you're painting like eyes or facial features or little specific things. That's when you really need a good brush. But up until that point, you can pretty much use anything. You know, any paintbrush that you got. Nothing special, you know, like, you know, but I do highly recommend the nylon Taklon because it just, it gives a smoother finish. You don't see, like some brushes out there, you see, what do you call it? Brush strokes. And I really don't like that. Okay, so this little guy, I love this guy. He's basically a paint eraser. And what I did here, because I went too far, that was too big of a brush. I don't know if you can see that. It's really hard to see. But I ended up going off the edge of that black onto my green, and I don't want a gray mark on my green. So what I'm going to do is dip this little guy in my water, get him wet. See, a little wet. And then where I did that, I'm just going to rub that on there. And then I take the other end and I just scrape or rub that too, right in that area. You may have to do that a couple times with water. And what it does, I think everybody that does ceramics and acrylics should have one of these guys. It just erases the paint. So you don't have to repaint that area. It just kind of cleans that up, just to say. I don't even remember where I got this thing. I would assume, I've had it for so long, so I would assume Amazon has them. Amazon seems to have everything, but yeah, it's basically a paint eraser. You know, it reminds me, I wonder if an eraser would actually work. I don't know. I just thought, I gotta try that someday. Get an eraser and see if that works. Don't know. Not tried that. But this gizmo, you're going to want one of those. Can't figure them being too much money, really. Okay, so again, yeah, that gray works really good. So see how it's leaving space? I'm not painting it fully right down and underneath. That lip, you're kind of coming to the edge of the lip. And same with underneath. I'm not going right tight either. I'm leaving that nice, beautiful line of like a black shadow in there. You don't want that too wide either, because that's going to take from your actual color that you're doing. It's going to make it look really dark. Well, unless you're going for that. Like, I mean, you could. It'd be a little more on the... It'd be really more darker tones, really. Okay. No, I still got a little bit more to go here. So once you got this gray on, then we're going to come back in like we did with that. Like we did with the second part, and that's where you can choose. You can, like, white is a very easy color, so you can either just go right into white with the gray, which looks really nice, or you can pick a medium color that you want in between to give it a different look or effect or hue. And that looks really nice too. That is totally up to you as the painter, as the creator. Myself, I'll probably just go directly right into the white. Being as this is a beginner starter video. Okay. You almost got it there. Missed a spot. gray. Yeah, that in there too. Right there. Get that little bit. So I'm concentrating so I don't paint one of the Christmas balls and thinking it's snow. Okay. Okay. Look at that again. Too much there too. Yeah, nice and easy that works. You just boop. It's just like you never did it. Magical little thing. Got some there too. Okay. Apparently did some there too. Okay. Yeah, and these things are easy to clean too. You just soap and water and wipe them dry and they're good to go. And if it's really stubborn on there, you just scrub it a little bit and it's good. Okay. I missed a spot there too. Okay. Okay. That's Christmas ball, Christmas ball. Oop. Okay, here. Okay, that one's snow. Alright. There we go. I should mention the reason why I didn't show you what color that gray was is because I mix this. I used an old bottle that I had and I just mix black and white together and then I shake it in the bottle to get the tone that I want. That's why I didn't show you what gray it was, because it's a homemade gray. It's basically using the same the Deco Art black with Deco Art white. That's all I did. Mixed it together and boom, there's a gray. You know, it makes a nice gray. You can lighten it or darken it depending on how much black or how much white you use. I think most people know that, but if you don't, that's how it's done. You know, or you can get yourself like they do have a gray in that brand. I just didn't buy it because I mix paint all the time. So for me to mix, it's not a big deal. For those that don't want to mix paint, though, you can buy a gray right in the bottle. But I just wanted to mention that because I've been showing you other colors all the way through, and that one I did not. Because like I said, I mixed it. Okay. Alrighty. We're almost done here. Boop, 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 boop. A little bit more. good. Looking good. I'm liking it. Alright. We're almost there. Almost in the home stretch. Okay, so it's looking like this is going to be a really long video. I didn't know how long it took me to paint something. I've never really timed myself. But so far, we're already at 1 hour and 49 minutes and 42 seconds. So if you've lasted this long, yay. Glad you're still here. If you're not, well, you're not. I guess I'm not talking to you. Sorry. Bad joke. Alrighty. Anywho. Yeah, so we still have a little bit to go, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to be, but it looks like definitely over 1 hour. Going climbing on 2 hours, but hey, cool beans. But again, we all know painting process is slow. Hence why I am smoking while I'm painting, because there's no way I can go like 2-3 hours without a cigarette. Yes, I'm a big time smoker, but we're not going to go down that road. But I apologize for those that don't like smoking. My bad. It's a bad, nasty habit I have. Okay, back to what we're doing. I pretty much got almost all the gray down here. I got a few more spots. Or snow, or whatever you call it there. Okay, no. Got a couple more in here. So these, just because we're painting a tree doesn't mean like you can't do the exact same thing on different items. Like, I mean, this is just basically the basics of painting with acrylics on it, right? Like, I mean, you can take the same principle and go on anything. As long as you have your 3 colors, you can just boop, boop, boop and go. You know? That's... Oops. Jeez. I missed that spot. I need a smaller brush for that one. That little area. But yeah, you can, like I said, you can do this technique on all your little lovely ceramics. You pick your brush accordingly, your colors accordingly. Like, I mean, play around with color too. Like, I mean, you don't have to stick to the colors I use. Play around with your colors. You want a blue tree, do a blue tree. You want a green tree, do a green tree. You want a pink tree, do a pink tree. You know, that kind of thing. That is all up to you, what you want your end result to look like. But, I mean, like, if you want more realistic variation in colors and depths, I would suggest this. Yeah, see in this area here, you can start to see how the 3 colors were doing, especially on this piece. How it's sun-kissed and everything else. I guess it's just the way the light's hitting it. I'm not quite sure. I don't have a better light to show you, but hopefully you're getting the idea of how it's coming out. I like it. In person, it looks so different. The colors are so vibrant and it's like popping, like boom, 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 you know? Love that. Oh, I missed a spot here and there. Okay. Oh my talking, I'm missing spots. I'll pay attention for a minute. Okay. Grab that. Knock that up a little bit. And come right in there. Maybe I should have started with a Christmas ornament. It wouldn't have been so long of a video, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good time. I am. like I said, we're talking to myself. Or it feels like I'm talking to myself, even though I'm talking to you guys. But I mean, I'll get better at this. I promise. I'll try. I'll work at it. Whoa. All the people out there that know me, you're probably laughing right now at me. And that's okay. That's okay. I'll get better. Hi, Mom. I know you're going to be watching this. Hi, sis. Because I know you're going to be watching this. Shout out to my brothers. You'll probably be watching this too. So hi to you all. My grandkids. My kids' kids. My kids. Hi, everybody. All my friends. You know who you are. Big shout out to yous and hellos. Now you guys can take out your stuff and try what I do. Told you I'd show you. Not that hard. Not that hard. There we go. So, got all the gray done now. See? Ta-da! Woo! That's a good shot too. See, you can see how it's all the layers are in there. It's coming together really nice, actually. Woo! I'm loving it. Okay, next color. Oh, wait, we gotta pick up that one first. Oh, that lid is something. See, that's why people tell you don't put the caps in there, because it dries. That's why you're not supposed to do it that way. But it's only seems to be this bottle that's the one that's not cooperating well. All my others don't really have too much of a problem with this. This bottle, I don't know what it is with this bottle, but it is what it is. I guess I gotta clean that ridge again. To clean the inside of the cap. I did not clean that part, and it's getting stuck. But anyways, new biggie. Moving on. Okay, so wash that out. I'm going to use that brush again. That one worked really well. Really well. Okay. It doesn't matter. Like, if there's still a little bit of color of the other in there, it really doesn't matter because, like I said, they're all about the same tones, so it's just all going to blend in each other, so it's not a really huge deal. Like, unless you want your colors absolutely crisp. Me, it doesn't matter because everything in nature, one color kind of blends into the other, so it doesn't really bother me if there's extra different paints in there, right? To me, I just find it adds that extra something in there. Okay, so now that part's done, we are gonna go into what are we gonna do? We're gonna accent that white. So for this video, because it's a beginner video, we're gonna do this one. For my next, I'll show you different forms of snow later. So this one here, we're going to do this one first, just like this. And this, and add a little bit. I'm running out of spots on this thing. Okay. So again, you don't need very much because you're not using very much on the snow. You're just kind of kissing it. Just a little. And there you go. Alright, now we're going to tap into that. See how I got way too much on there? Way. So I'm going to tap off here a little bit, kind of scrape it off a bit. And then I'm going to go on my paper. Now, as you can see, this paper is all dry, but I'm going to flip it around anyways in case some of my gray is wet. I don't want that in there. So I'm just going to blot off anywhere. It doesn't even matter if you cross over, right? So I'm just kind of blotting off. And then we're going to come in here and we're just going to kiss it again. Alright. Okay, I gotta face that towards me so I can see what I'm doing here. Boop, boop, boop. And this one here, you can tap, or you can just kind of swipe whatever works best for you, but kind of do a tap swipe, especially when it comes to snow, because it kind of gives it that light, fluffy, I don't know, dusting kind of feel to it, I guess. This is where this guy comes in handy big time, because, like, actually I'll turn it around. Okay, now where am I seeing? See, I got right there. Well, you don't want that, because it's all yucky and messy. So again, I'm going to dip that in the water. Touch it. Just like that. And then take my other side and rub it out. Kind of blends it and erases it all at the same time. But now it looks crisp again. See? I got a little bit of smooch there, so we're going to fix that too. Alright. And then it's just water. The rest is water that's left over, so it's just going to keep it clean. But I got another one right there that I wanted to clean. And there. So this just saves you on a ton of time. Going back with your black and correcting and that sort of thing. But see how that layer of snow looks? How do I put this on this camera? That way. Ha ha! Figures it out. Okay, but you see, now you got different layers, and you can start to see right there. There's your dark, and then there's your gray, and then there's your white. And I'll turn it that way. It's weird, that camera, it looks backwards. No, it is backwards to me anyway. I don't know how you see it, but it's backwards to me. Anyway, yeah. So you got your black, your gray, and your white. And that's what it should look like. And then you continue on going through the whole thing. I just let my smoke do its thing. Okay. I didn't get to smoke that whole thing. I forgot about it. It's okay. I drink coffee. Spark another one. And away we go. Okay. Now, you see how that's coming together? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. It's pretty. Okay. So, here we go. Just tap on. That's all we're doing until all the weight is covered. Or all the snow is done anyway. Okay. And we'll get some more going. We have to tap a little bit more on, weighten it up a little bit more. Okay. And do a little bit there. Okay. And a little bit there. Okay. That's looking good. Show you in a minute. I get so excited when we get to these parts. So, like, we're almost at the finishing end. So I get so excited because it looks so cool. I love the finished parts. It's my favorite part. You know, those little extra something's in there. It looks so pretty. It's starting to look like something. Okay. again. I did the smoots. There. That looks pretty good. Oh, got a big one there. Sometimes, when it's too much paint that you're taking off, you can use a paper towel to blot it off too. That helps. It just gets rid of the extra water and the extra whatever. Okay, so ready for this? Oh, look at that. Look how pretty that is. Ooh, I'm loving it. Oh, the color. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, we'll keep going. I love that. I love how it's starting to come together. Okay, jumping G's. We're already we're already 2 hours in. If you're still here, hey, good job. Thanks for staying so long. I know it is. You guys are just curious to see how this is gonna all turn out in the end, aren't you? No worries. Hopefully you won't be disappointed. It'll be pretty. It'll be definitely pretty. Okay. Wait till those colored Christmas ball goes on. They're gonna be so nice. That's where the fun comes in too, right? You get to pick out all those pretty colors, Christmas lights that you want in there. So nice. Love painting ceramics. You can make it any color you want. Match your room, match your decor, match your own Christmas lights or decor. Way more fun. Okay. Do. Alright. What else we got? That's what's nice about doing the snow. If you're just doing the two-tone snow, which is just your gray and your white, then you don't have to come, like, once your snow is done, it's done. Like, once the white goes on, then there's no, other. Like, you don't have to do anything else to it, you know what I mean? Now, another way, if you want other snow everywhere else, like, you can always glide a little bit of frosting everywhere. It depends on what look you're going for, really. Like myself, I'm going to do the clean streamline on this one. But on other ones, like I've taken it and I've just kind of, played with it and just kind of, did a little bit of that on the tips. Just so it's a little frosted. It gives it something else. Like, I mean, like when you're painting tons of trees, it gets boring doing the same thing all the time, so when you're experimenting, you just play around a little bit, and, you can add it to that. And if that was the case, then I wouldn't be having to erase. If I was going to frost it a bit, I wouldn't be running around cleaning up all this little white. I would have just left that, as extra snow. Extra little frosting. But I'm not. So, we're doing a clean line on this one, so we're not going to do that. Alright. I have to admit, I'm getting so excited and I can't wait to put the crystal balls on this. Yep, yep, yep. Alrighty. Looking good, looking good. Alrighty. We got a little bit more to go. Okay. Missed some at the top here. I don't know if I did that, but I position myself so I don't get that better so you can see. It's kind of a dabbing, swiping kind of motion that I'm doing. There we go. The other side. Too bad I couldn't figure out how to put that camera behind me to look down, but maybe in the future we'll figure that one out. And you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. Maybe that might work for you and me. I don't know. I'll try that. But that's all I'm doing. We're just kind of dabbing it on there. Just like that. Okay. Oh, I missed a side on that one too. Okay, so I'll just dab in there. Just like that. And I missed that one on this side too. There's a painting and a painting. There we go. Alright. Okay. Sorry for being quiet. I'm not sure what to chat about. One out of things to say, to be honest. Like I said, it's weird. You're kind of, sort of, like I know I'm talking to all you guys, but at the same time, there's no response, so it's kind of like I'm talking to myself, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird, but yeah. I keep repeating that, but it's true. Like, you gotta remember, this is like my first real video, so, I did a small short one, but it was live. I did that on Facebook quite some time ago, and I think they've taken it off now, but that's okay. And it was weird too, like, you know, but to say, like, this is my first real big video, so, and my first video that's gonna be here on YouTube, so, yeah, bear with me, peoples. I'm hoping to figure out what to chat about throughout our videos, because, I mean, otherwise it's going to be real long and boring for you. I know as a YouTube watcher myself, I like it active, and, you know, I like the ones that chit-chat with you and stuff. I hand it to you. I do. I know I said that before, but I do. I mean, you guys are rock. I mean, you just yak that up real good. I feel like I'm crafting with a buddy, and I'm hoping that I'll get better at this, so you feel the same. Like you're crafting right here with me, um, like as my buddy, you know. Um, and to my mom and sister, when you're crafting with me and painting and watching this video, hopefully you'll feel like you're right here with me painting. You know, I want all you guys to have that same feeling. I mean, it's cool. Like, you know, not about all of us get out and about and do things. But, I mean, if you can find a buddy on YouTube that does the things that you do or likes to do what you do and, you know, and is teaching you how to do stuff, I think that's awesome. I think that rocks. You know, and you feel like a buddy. Feel like a family, you know? Like, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Not fond of leaving dead air. Feel like I'm jipping you or something. Okay. We're almost done. Almost. Getting there. Okay. I'm hoping by the end of this video I'll have this all knocked out and figured out how to do this and, you know, that kind of thing, but maybe not. We'll see. Maybe I won't be so weird. Okay. A little bit more. A little more down there. So how's your tree coming along, or whatever you're painting? Hopefully good. Hopefully you're learning stuff. Hopefully you're learning a lot. Hoping you're liking. We having fun yet? Okay. Alrighty. For those watching this that know my house, it's quiet because everybody's sleeping and we're in the wee hours while I'm filming this. So everybody's kind of napping. Otherwise they'd be like doing the zoomies. You know, you have cats. If you have cats, you know they do the zoomies. They're everywhere. They're playing. But they are snoozing. Besides, like, the whole episode with Panda. Yeah. That's my panda bear. She's now sleeping. She's been quiet, good kitty. Okay, I think I am done the wait. Yay! Alrighty. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so shove that in water for a minute. I'm gonna take my little eraser guy and clean up all the little yuckies I did. And then we can start the Christmas balls. It doesn't look too bad, I guess. There we go. Okay. So, ta-da! That's one side. And that is the other. Oh, I see something I don't like. No, this side. That one. Right there. I missed it. Or I gucked it or smushed it. So, to fix that, we're going to get a little paintbrush. Like that. We are going to dry this off. We are going to go back to our first green. And I'm not taking a whole lot out. I'm just going to dip in a cap. And I am going to fix that. Just like that. Ta-da! It's fixed. I see. No. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're going to paint that after anyways. And I see another smooch. Ooh, I don't like how that turned out. since I mucked that, we're going to fix that. Wipe that off. I don't need to clean it. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm going to contaminate, but like I said, I make so many colors, so it really doesn't matter what I end up with what, because in the end I end up with the end result I like. So as you get going and you get experience with playing with paint, you're going to be able to do the same thing. No biggie. Wacky smooching stuff. Anywho, that goes in there, and I just got, yep, I did do it. I did it. I put black on my white, and I don't like that. Now it turned to gray. But again, my razor are going to fix that. Okay. Blot that one off. Oh, it didn't fix it. Okay. No biggie. What do I got on that brush? Gray. Oh, we're going to dab that. Well, I have white here. Okay. And we're going to just dab that back on. Boop, 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 boop. There you go, all fixed. Anyway, as I was saying before, done. As I've done, you're good to go. We are ready to do your ornaments. Those. Okay. So for this, we definitely do want a flat brush. This is where it's going to get important. So for this, I gotta clean that off. I'm not sure the size of this brush, which it is probably, like, these brushes are so old, so I wonder if I have something similar in size. Yeah, it'd be probably like a 2, I would say. And this one's like, is it filbert? Yeah. So it'd be about, probably roughly about a size 2, like a 2 filbert. Like, I don't know if you see that very well. Getting it up there, yeah. Roughly. So you want something small that you can easily maneuver around the ball so that you're not hitting your snow or your tree. You're just hitting that ball, and you're going to leave a little bit so that it gives it a bit of shadow. So we're going to start off with, what color do I want? Here's where the fun part comes in. And so I got a dark blue, and what color is this? An ocean blue. Now I play with a lot of different how can I put that? Different paints, like liquidized paints. So like they're different brands. To me, it doesn't matter the brand as long as it's got the color I want. So in this case here, I wanted a dark blue. So this one happens to be Deco Art Americana, and it is primary blue. And this one here is from, and I believe you get this one off of Amazon. This one here comes from Michael's, and I believe it's their brand, or their store brand or something. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, it's Craft Smart, and this one is Ocean Breeze. So those are the 2 colors we're going to do for blue. So what I'm going to do is shake this up and open the cap, and anywhere I want a blue ball, I'm just going to take this, blot it off, and I'm going to tap that right on there like that. So I'm going to want a blue ball right there, and maybe one down here. So here's where I'm going to end up making a big mess, because I'm going to have like all my paints open. And that dried. So no big deal. I'm going to take that off, pull it off, whoop, put it over there. Just dry paint. Because like I said, I paint for my cat. So like I know a lot of you don't, and that's great. I mean, great habit. But when I first started, I didn't have much, so I just started out of the cap. Now it's a hard habit to break. So don't do that. Get one yourselves, those little paint kit things. Okay, so I got two blue. So how I'd like to explain it, this is basically like coloring. Like, you know how you color in a coloring book when you're a kid? This is basically the same idea. You're just basically coloring with a paintbrush and paint. That's it. So pick out where you want your colors, you know, where you want stuff, and then just fill that in. So I pretty much go around and pick out where I want that color, and I do all those first in your base coat. Oop. Yeah, see that blue is really dark, so you're not going to be able to see what I just did right off the hop, because I mean it's really dark. It's hard for me to see, and I'm here. So yeah, and then I'll do, and I just gotta space them out roughly where I want them. No rhyme, no reason, just whatever looks good to your eye. That's kind of what you do. And one down here. And I kind of just roughly even out where I put the color, or colors, I should say. I'll put another one maybe here. That blue. And no, there's blue there. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna leave that like that for now. With the blue. That's why I said you're gonna leave the cap. I'm gonna leave my caps open because I may add it somewhere else. Now I'm gonna come in with my second blue. No, I'm not washing my brush because you want it to kind of marbleize, like blend and marbleize on the ball. Okay. So I didn't wash that. Remember that. And dip in just to say I have a little bit. Gonna blot off exactly where I blotted before. Take a little bit more. So I'm kind of mixing that colors together, that little bright blue. So then I get a variation, right? And then wherever I did those balls, now I'm going to come back in and I'm just going to blot in it. Just like so. And another one here. And another one there. And right here. And come on this side. Another ball there. Just slap it on. And notice I went back to the paper. I didn't dip back in because I still have some on that paper. So it's going to be enough because you don't need much. You're just kind of fluffing it in. So you don't need much. So and then I'll just dab right on that one. And I think that's pretty much it for that blue. Okay. Now you can see the blue balls. You see them? All over. Yay. Okay. And again, on this side, same thing. See, now you got your two tones of your blue. Now, again, I did not wash the brush. I'm just blotting off. Just like that. Because you still want a little bit of these two colors in there. Now I'm going to go straight in there and blot off. And you see how still it's brighter? Well, that's what you want. Like, I don't know if I can show that. You see how you now have three big variations? That's what you want. So that when you come back in here, now you're just gonna highlight. You're just gonna highlight your ball. Just like that. Just kind of swipe it on. 3 different colors on there, and make sure you can see that's the trick. Make sure you can see that there's 3 colors on there. That's not bright enough, so we're going to come back in. So it kind of gives you the illusion of that kind of shiny spot, you know? That's kind of what you're doing. And now, I don't know if I can bring it up close enough. Maybe not. Maybe that little bottom one. But anyways, there's, like, as you can see, especially in that center one, see how you can see the 3 different variations? Even though I don't have a great camera system or anything, you kind of see it. But that's what you're shooting for. And as it dries, it's going to darken. So as it does that, you may want to come over it a second time with that bright mark. So that you have those varying colors, and it just kind of pops it, just like that. Okay. I'm going to do that again on this side. Bring it to life. Just one more. And that's it. Okay, moving on, next color. Now I'm going to wash the brush out. You'll leave that open for a minute just in case I want that color again. You don't have to, you can shut them, whatever. But since my kitties are sleeping, I can do that. Alright, the next color I want to probably put on here would be my orange. Now, orange is a different color. You're not going to have 3 variations of this because there isn't any. Really, it washes it out way too much. So you're just going to probably go in with orange, and then you're going to lighten it off just a little bit, which I'll show you how to do in a second. So I want an orange Christmas balls, so we're going to add those right now. Okay, and maybe one here. Okay, and one up top. We're going to do that one right there in orange. Turn around towards me. Okay, we got my orange. It's going to dry out in a minute, so we're going to add a little brighter. Go back with a second coat because you want that bright. So that's what I'm doing now, is just doing a second coat. So it brightens up a little bit. Okay, to give this a slight highlight, what I like to do is I take yellow and I mix it. I'm going to put a little bit of the cap here. So I'll take a bit of that out of the cap, the orange, put it on the paper like that, and then I'm going to pick up a bit of yellow, not much, just to say you got some on there, see? And then you mix that in, and it kind of gives you like I don't know, a mutated orange. That's kind of what you're after. You don't want it too bright because then it's going to be like a dark form of yellow, like not quite yellow ochre, but you know, that type of thing. And you don't want that. You want it still to stay orange, but you just want it to give it a highlight on this. And that's why I said it's really, really, really hard to show that variation. And I got orange on my tree branch. Where is my eraser? There it is. Okay. Sorry, 1 sec here. Got a bit of orange. Okay. Anyways, you might have to do that mutated orange a couple of times to give it that variation that you're looking for. But like I said, you can't go too far with the yellow because it'll turn it to a yellow. And you don't really want that. You want it still orange. But just to say it gives it something. Yeah, I can go a little bit more. That's still not enough. You got to play with that mixing just to get it right. But again, if you go too far, you can always re-add more orange back into it. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna give it a little stitch there. And remember too, you're going to need quite a few coats of orange because orange is very translucent, so you can see right through it. So you're going to see that black pigment through it, and it's a little hard to cover. But if you go a little thicker, it's definitely worth it because you got the contrast, so that it gives you your shadow and your highlight, and you're going to definitely see that. Like as you look at that, I don't know if you can see it very well, but you definitely do have a bit of variation. In person, you're really going to see it. On camera, it's really hard because I don't have the proper lighting for you, and I apologize. I really do. Hopefully in the future I'll get better lighting and figure out all that technical stuff, but yeah. Just to say, because that was not bright enough for me. And I want that shiny little spot. There we go. Okay, so I got all that on there. Starting to come together slowly. Okay, now what other color we're going to use? We're going to use red. So with my red, what I like to do with red, I like to paint the ball brown first, and this one's a cinnamon brown, and it's a Deco Art cinnamon brown. I like to base coat it with brown first before I put the red on, normally, because the black will come through. However, the color I'm going to use today, which does the same thing, but this one is a barn red, or no, sorry, it's red iron, yeah, red iron oxide by Delta Ceramic out. This is a little thicker paint. You can buy it online. And it's definitely way thicker, way thicker. So one coat is plenty, and I'm going to base coat with this one instead, and then I'll come in with my red on top. All right, so where we're going to go? We're going to go red here, and I'm going to go a red probably here, and I'm going to do a red probably down here. Just going back and doing a little bit of a touch up. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Do I want to do that one red? That one maybe. Do that side one red. You see how deep that comes? I just happen to have this color on hand. If I didn't have this, then I'd probably go with the brown first. Sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to do a couple of more here. Down at the bottom, so we're going to do this one. Okay, I think that's enough red for now. And then we're going to wipe that off down here. This one is Christmas red, and it's a decor. And we're just going to put that on as your second coat. Oh. She's a bright red. And now we're going to go over top and just add that right in. Sorry. And that on both sides, so we're just going to tap that like that. Alright. Hopefully, grab this in the right spot. See how much that red popped? Just went boom. You're gonna see this so much more in person. Like, on cam just does not show how true those colors pop. And it's sad, because I wish it did, but it does not. There we go. And you see, this color is another one that you don't really need another transitional color in the middle, because it just you got to remember, you got the black, and then it comes into that dark russet color, and then the red. So you don't really need that third highlight. So I'm not going to use it. Like some colors you do, some colors you don't. This one it doesn't. So we're not going to use that. So that's it for the red. Now I'm trying to see what other colors do I want to add in there. I would like, I want pink. I'm thinking pink. So this one here is a ceramic coat as well, and this one's called Coral. So we're going to start off with that color. And where are we going to go with this? Okay. So I'm going to put that one up here. Oh yeah, that's pretty. That looks pretty. I like that. And because it comes around. It's going to be a happy little tree. Ooh, yeah. Loving it. Okay. Bring that up a little bit. Okay. I want a pink one there. And I want a pink one here. So I'll add that there. Like so. Okay. And then maybe down here. One there. One there. One there. Okay. I think that's good for that color. And that'll give me 2, 3, 4 for a different color. Okay. So turn that around. And we'll base coat in the other colors. Okay. So we're going to want one down here. Just kind of spacing them and evening out the colors so that you can see it throughout. So it's kind of like guesswork, but this way it kind of the colors dispersed everywhere, not in one just location. So, and I think that looks good. Okay, now what I'm going to use for the middle color of that is, what is this? This is Flesh Tone, and it is Delta Ceramic Coat as well. So I'm going to take that one. I still got a bit of this pink, so what I'm going to do is dab a little bit more and apply it to my paper. And I take this, because see, I'm going to use that as a top highlight. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to mix it right in just a little bit so that it lightens. Oh, geez, you can't see. Sorry. Okay, so it's just a random piece of paper and the other paint underneath this thing. So I'm just kind of mixing just a little amount because, like I said, you don't need much. So just a dab, and you're mixed together and you're pretty much good to go. And it's just to say lighter than the original Coral. So that's kind of what you're looking for. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to dab on. And I'm going to do the same. It gives you that middle color. Because this one here, you can bring up the colors. So we're going to. Okay. A bit of a dab there. And that's good. And then we'll come back on this side. There. A little smudge there. a little smush there, and that highlighted that. And that was it. So then, because I want that highlight, that really top, ta-da, shiny spot, I am now just going to go straight into the peach, or flesh tone I mean, blot it off, and I'm just going to dab right, just give it that, you know, kind of, that shiny spot. That's all you're looking to do. Give it a shiny spot. Same as that one. Okay. That's so pretty when it came out. Okay, dab a little bit off. Yeah, I like that. Come in with a second coat of that one. Just okay. Maybe if I could throw it on an angle, you could see that. Ooh, this is horrible lighting for whatever reason. On camera, it's horrible. Horrible. But anyways, in person, you're going to get to see those variations in the colors, and they're just going to pop. You're just going to go boom, 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 you know? So, yeah, try it out at home first, and you're going to see, like, some of these angles, which this is probably not a great angle right now. I don't know if I can get a better angle now. Try that again. Yeah. See, in the blue you can arrow over here. There you go. See that blue? There's 3 different colors in there. You can see that. Well, all your colors are going to do that in person. On this camera, for whatever reason, it's not. So, I'm sorry. Okay, now we're looking for one more color to set this whole thing off. And for me, oops, because I don't want to bring in any other ones. So I'm done with those, so I'm going to cap them now. Put that back. And that one back. Yeah, think this through. What color do we want to go? Do I want to go a green or do I want to go a yellow? Or a different color altogether. That's what I gotta think about. I thought I had enough colors. Apparently, I did not. Did not figure that out right. No biggie. Trying to think of what other colors are in Christmas lights. I wish you guys could talk to me. Then you can go, hey, you know, there's this, this, and this. I'm trying to remember. Been a while. Let me just see here. And again, you want something that's going to set that off. Oh, hi, bug. We have my big boy. You guys can't see him, but I can. He's sitting beside me. He's not on cam. No, he's a good boy, though. Yeah, you're a good boy. Okay. Alrighty. What do you think, Bug? Should we go yellow? I'm thinking yellow. So, I don't know. I kind of really like, I don't know, I'm debating between this, like, lime green. Or yellow. I think I'm going with yellow. I think I'm going to go with yellow. Yep. So what I'm going to do to start this one off for the dark color, I am going to pour some more paint of yellow in here. But because I need to mix this color to keep it wet. Where is my tray? There it is. I am going to put, I need some orange. Remember when we were doing orange and the highlight, and I said if you go too far, it'll be yellowy? Well, now we're going to take it. Whoa, 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 bug. Sorry. Kitty cat trying to find a place to sit. And he is knocking stuff from here to all over. Just a minute there, Mr. Man. I'm going to move some stuff. And you, my dear boy, move my ink. There, it can sit there. Up you go. Oh, bug. Oh, no, you don't want to. Don't you love that with cats? You make them a spot because they're throwing a fat. Because they got to be right there. So you make them a spot, and then they take off. They don't sit where you put them. But they make a big production that you need to do that. Annoying. But I loves them, so it's all good. It's all good, eh, bugs? Anyways, like I was saying previously, with the orange, when we were doing the highlight, we didn't want to go too far. Because it would be more yellowy than orange. So that's kind of the color we're going to make. So I'm just taking yellow and adding it to that little blob of, oh geez, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. So all I did was I started off with a blob of orange. So I just kind of scooped it up, put it down on the dish, and I'm just adding yellow. And I keep scooping it up and applying it in. And I'm searching for a dark kind of yellowy orange color. And see, that's still not it. So we're going to add some more. I'm going to keep adding yellow until I get that nice kind of, it's not yellow ochre. I don't even know what it would be called. But anyways, it's kind of like a goldenrod yellow. Like, you know, those flowers you see out in the field. Kind of like a goldenrod color. That color. That's kind of the color you're looking for. And I just about got it right there. Okay. So now that I got that, I'm going to see if it's too close or what here. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Okay, so we're going to apply the first coat. Now this one here is very, very see-through, like translucent. So you're going to have to do definitely a couple coats. It's not going to cover our first coat. There is no way. And yeah. So we're going to do a couple of coats. And now you're going to fill in all the Christmas balls that you did not paint earlier. All the rest of them are going that color. Because that is my last color that we're going to use on here. Okay. And we'll do this side. And I'm going to have to wait a few minutes, guys, for this to dry because I did not bring my hair dryer in here. So I got to wait a minute. The waiting game. Waiting and watching paint dry. That's always a fun game, isn't it? Not. Okay. There we go. Got that going. Okay, so apparently my video got way too long. No worries. I noticed it right away. So, you're not going to miss anything. Not sure if we're going to have to edit or whatever, but if so, okie dokie. Or this could be part 2. We're not sure just yet. I've never made a video or loaded it up before, so we'll find out when it gets loaded up. This could be part 2 of the painting a Christmas tree. Anyways, we're going to continue. Again, all I'm doing is I am doing the yellow. And it's going to need 2 coats for the base coat here. And yeah. Brighten that right up. And there it is. Yeah, just needed 2 coats. Okay. And that's that. And do I got them all? No, I need this one too. Right there. And a little bit more paint. There we go. Oh, I need 3 coats on that one. Okay. You want good coverage on your yellow because otherwise that black is going to come right through and you don't want that because then your yellow ain't going to be bright or the what you're looking for. It's not going to turn out how you want. So yeah, make sure you get good coverage. Now, because I am going to go way later than that, I am washing the brush out. And I need that to dry for a minute, so. Okay. So the next coat is straight yellow. Like right from the bottle, straight yellow. That is going to be your next color on top. So hopefully this is dry enough. We're going to dab that in. Geez, okay. And then we're going to come on that one, dab that on. And I think that one's a yellow too, or is that an orange? No, that's yellow. Okay. Somewhere right here, and a yellow, I believe it's that one, and no, that's an orange, that was a yellow, and that was a yellow. Okay, now because I really want this yellow to go boom at ya, I'm going to mix the yellow straight from the container with white. So you just take a little bit, put it on your palette like so, dip into, I already have white here, so I'm just going to take the white, mix it in, and I want it now it's going to look like butter or buttercups. You know how you see those flowers there, the buttercups? I think that's what they're called. But anyways, you add white to your yellow and you make it brighter. I need a little bit more, I think, white. I'm not sure which way to go here. Let me pay attention. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. And that's all you're going to do. Blot off. And then in the center, you're just going to tap. You're going to take some more. You're going to tap. And the last one was over there. Or no, right here. You're going to tap. You're just giving it that shiny spot on your Christmas ball. Okay. Alrighty. And tap. And go smooth after that. And find the yellow ball, tap. And the last one down here, tap. And tap. And I believe that is it. Oh, one down here, okay. That's not. And there, that's it. She's done. Okay. I'm going to cap them. Cap that. Move that. And now I'm going to look for a big brush. Doesn't matter what brush, like, I just picked any old brush, it doesn't matter. And to finish this off, I'm going to take black. I'm just going to use it out of the cap. It's just easier right now. So I pour some in the cap. Or in your case, if you do the whole palette thing or whatever, you just pour it in your palette. You add more black. And what we're going to do is we're going to clean up that bottom. See, because the bottom's all yucky. I don't like that. I like my pieces finished. So what I'm going to do, oh, and I see I need a touch up, so I'm just going to add that there. Okay. I'm going to finish the bottom, and I usually paint all my bottoms of my ceramics black. So this way, when the client gets it, if it gets scratched or whatever, because I don't put any rubbers or anything on mine, because I don't know where the client's going to put it, or even where I'm going to put it. Like if you're putting it in something or whatever, you know, you don't know where they're going to put it. So there's no point in putting little, I don't know what you call it, protectors on there, like little rubber stopper protector things on there. I don't do that, so I just paint everything black. And if it gets scuffed, then they can just buy a bottle of black paint, because over time it will. Like even if it is sealed, it's going to get scuffed. You know, we might as well foresee that. So this is why I paint all my bottoms black. It's easier. It looks clean. It's nice, and it can be corrected. You know, so that if it does get all scratchy or whatever, then the person that owns it can just buy a bottle of black and a single paintbrush and just touch it up. Or if it's even your own piece, you can just take out your paint, touch it up. It's all good to go. Looks new again. That's why I do that. We're just taking a brush, do that. And there you go, all cleaned up. Now, because there's still some Christmas balls kind of wet, I don't want to go ahead and clear coat everything right away. So we're going to wait for that. But all you're doing with that is you just open the can and you take a nice brush, nice clean brush, dip it in, varnish it off. You put 2 coats, so you, here. Hi. So what you're going to do is, at this stage, I'm going to let everything dry completely. And then tomorrow I'm going to come back, and once everything's dry, then I'm going to open the can of Varathane, which is this. I'll show you guys again. This, the Indoor Outdoor Varathane. And I use gloss. And I just brush it on as if I was base coating in black. So there's no particular way you brush it on or anything like that. You just brush it on as if you were base coating. And you just do 1 full coat on either side, all over it, and including the bottom. Let it dry, and then do a 2nd coat. And you can even do a 3rd coat. And it gives you that nice gloss finish, so it makes it kind of new and shiny. But again, it's not going to be new and shiny as your coffee mug or whatever like that, but it's going to look new and shiny and nice. So, and that's how you finish that up. And that's it, folks. That's all I got for you today. So thanks for hanging out and chilling with me and painting. And sorry it was so long, but hey, it's my first go, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you weren't too bored out of your mind. And yeah, I'll catch you on the fly and see you in the next one. All right, bye for now.